So I want to show you this. uh, this again reminds me of that image of the people in the Philippines. I'm sorry, that smear their skin with that dark, paint and dress up in indigenous outfits. With and now that we think about it, remember the head that they let's see if we can find the image, but the head that they hold up reminds me of a pale skinned person with red hair. Go figure, right? But as I was looking at this image, I keep remembering that the Hopi and the Navajo, they do a lot of stuff that reminds me of the Dogon in Africa. But they do a lot of stuff that reminds me of the characteristics of the Canaanites. And one was the whole part about how they love to run. When we learned that the Canaanites love to run, right? Check this out. Fair use.
In the remote Sierra Madre Mountains of northwest Mexico lies Copper Canyon, a rugged region home to a tribe called the Tarahumara, the running people. The Tarahumara have inhabited this terrain for 500 years. Their name comes from their ability to run superhuman distances without running shoes. How do they do it? Chris McDougall is a former marathon runner. He is astonished by the Tarahumara's extraordinary endurance.
This is an entire tribe of people that can run distances well beyond 100 miles. They routinely run 200, 250 miles at a time. And not just some people, but all of them, men and women, old and young alike.
Remarkably, the tribe record for a single run is a staggering 435 miles in just over 48 hours. It's equivalent to running from New York to Cleveland, Ohio. To run this...
I'm going to stop this because I just don't want to get a strike, but I'm going to leave it in the description box if you want to check it out. But I've noticed that a lot of the Navajo and Hopi, like in Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, they run a lot. They run marathons. And I thought it was weird because I'm like, wait a minute. You guys can play any sports you want. I know they play other sports, but like basketball and football. But I'm like, it's weird that you choose marathon running to be your thing of choice. And then just listening to the woman read about the Canaanites and how basically when you took their shoes off, they just loved to run. They would run for miles, right? That's what that reminded me of. I've been meaning to get to that and do that for a while now, to show that and just to show that link. We'll see if we can find it here. Everybody doing it. I'm looking for the parade that they had in the Philippines where they paint themselves black and just like natives with the head cut off of their enemy. And look at this. This is new. I've never seen this before. Earring in their ear like those Indians that we did from Texas there. What is this? Let's see here. Oops. Whoop.
The Savage, a white performer in a blackface disguise, takes part in the festival du Casse-d'Oeuf in the western town of Ath, Belgium, August 25, 2019. Reuters. Francois Lenoir, the Savage, a white performer in a blackface disguise, touches a child during the festival du Casse d'Oth. In the western town of Ath, Belgium, August 25, 2019. Reuters. Francois Lenoir, ATH, Belgium. Reuters. Hundreds of spectators cheered and applauded as the chief protagonist of a Belgian parade, the Savage, appeared in the town of Ath on Sunday. But Annie Reid.
Yo, look at the outfit. Like I just remember when Lex Will always pointed out, get over the blackface. Look at the way they're dressed. Look at the way they have them dressed. That reminds you of some of the. Oh wait, they got them in chains. Look at that. Wow. Yo, wait a minute. Hey, let me pause this real quick. I've been meaning to mention this because I finally looked into it. The halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, the song sung by the Marines, right? One of my brother-in-laws, he's in the Marines and he's back on leave. So I asked him about it, and he told me that's just what they teach him to sing. He doesn't know why they actually sing that, and so now he's going to go back and ask questions, right? So I'm like, okay, all right. Then I was asking about maritime law because maritime law, right? We all know it's the laws of the sea, right? Admiralty law are the judges, the 7 judges that rule over maritime law or judge over maritime law, right? And I asked him, I said, why do we have a system of maritime law on the land when maritime law is for the sea? And then again, he's like, I don't know. I'll have to ask questions. So, because I asked him about the whole courtroom and the flag and all that stuff. So, they're taught the stuff, but they're not taught the stuff, I guess, So I went looking up the halls of Montezuma, and we had this. There we go. Hold on. We'll read to the history. And this is what captured. That's supposed to be a cricket. I mean, not cricket, but a grasshopper. The name of this place is supposed to translate into Grasshopper Hill here. We'll go back. Ooh. Come on.
Chapultepec Hill is depicted in the Tovar Codex. The scene shows the Aztec Tlatoani Huitzilopochtli and Tepanex right about to be defeated by the warriors of Xochimilco and Chalco. Left. Opening square bracket.
Okay, enough of that.
According to studies, there has been human presence in the area since at least the pre-classic period. The first identified culture archaeologists have evidence for the Toltecs. The Toltecs named the area Grasshopper Hill, which would later become Nahuatl Chapultepec at the Grasshopper Hill. Remains of a Toltec altar have been found on the hill's summit. In the classic period, the area was occupied by people of the Teotihuacan culture. When the Mexicans, or Aztecs, arrived in the Valley of Mexico, it was inhabited by a people called the Tepanecas of Azcapotzalco. 1.
But let's go back up here. This hall that they talked about, where was it? The Marines had supposedly defeated the Mexican army there. That's what it was about. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it.
The Battle of Chapultepec in September 1847 was attacked by American forces on the Mexican forces. Holding Chapultepec in Mexico City, The castle, sitting atop a 200-foot, 60 meters tall hill, was an important position for the city's defense, for the Battle of Mexico City, of which the Battle of Chapultepec is a part. Gen Scott's U.S. Army totaled 7,200 men, and Gen Santa Anna's Mexican Army totaled about 15,000. The Battle of Chapultepec saw about 2,000 U.S. troops attack 880 Mexican troops and take Chapultepec in a 60 to 90-minute battle.
And the shores of Tripoli part, though, I looked that up. It was just it had to do with the what is it called there? The first Barbary War. That's what that had to do with. So, I mean, look at this. Look at this. He's painted his skin to look that way. And you know, it reminds me too that the